I got fired from my job yesterday. Now that I have this free time, we're going to read some books. So I have went through my bookshelf and found some books that are either pretty short or books that I've been meaning to get to for a minute or books that I think would be great to just binge. I think what we're going to try to do is read 7 books in 7 days. That's like the idea that I have right now. However, I don't know if I mean, hopefully today is Thursday. So like right now the idea is to film or read 7 books in 7 days. So, let me go through the TBR that we have set for the week because I picked out 7 books and we're going to try to read them. I don't this sounds so dumb. I think I'm spiraling right now. I'm a little bit like in shock and I don't know. You know what? Anyways, we're just going to go through them. So, the first book that I have picked out is Honey and Spice by Bolu Babalola. This book I have been wanting to get to for the longest time, but it's not on Kindle Unlimited, and every time I go to Barnes, I always only see the second one, which is Sweet Heat, I believe. And I learned about this book from Shaughnessy. She loves Sweet Heat. It was like one of her favorite books that she read last year, I'm pretty sure. And I've been meaning to get to this. And actually I was just in LA in April and I had the opportunity to go to the Rip Bodice in LA and I was so happy that I got to go there and visit that bookstore. They had it and I picked it up and I'm really happy that I finally got to pick this up because I've been wanting to read it for the longest time. And this is about like 350 pages. So I feel like I could do that in a day for sure. Like, we'll see. I don't know. And then, second, this one I actually just got in the mail a few days ago. This is Above by Brea Lamb. This is an indie published romantasy book. And this just gives the vibe of something that I could definitely binge. It is a little bit bigger. You know, this is also on Kindle Unlimited. So if I need to, I can also like binge it on there. Maybe we'll see. But I'm obsessed with this cover. It's absolutely gorgeous. The second one comes out in June or July, I think. So I definitely wanted to get to this before the second one comes out. I follow the author on Threads and she's super funny. So I definitely wanted to support her. This one is a romance. I kind of made the pile go like romance, fantasy. So that way it got broke up a little bit. So this one is a romance. This is Queen Bee by Amalie Howard. This is a like Regency era romance. This has to do with the girl who got kind of like shunned from society and now she's going in under an alias to try to get revenge on the people who ruined her reputation. So, and this cover is also just so cute. I love the art on this. So, all of these covers are gorgeous actually. I love all of them. Next, this one I'm pretty sure is a fantasy. You know, now that I'm thinking about it, I'm not sure if it's a fantasy or not. But anyway, this is the Ballad of Jacquoette Delahaye, and this is by Briony Cameron. And this one is, I know it has to do with like pirates. That's really all I know about it. I saw one post on Instagram of a girl that posted this in like a slide where it had like a bunch of different pictures of books, and I saw this. And then the next time I went to Half Price Books, I saw this on the shelf and I was like, I trust it, you know? And this one's pretty short. This one is only around like 340, 350. So again, like should be able to finish this in one day. Next, this is book number 5 is The Davenports. This is by Krystal Marquis. And I saw this on Instagram and then the next time that I was at Half Price Books, I saw it on the shelf and I just picked it up. I just trust people, you know, like if I can see one single post being like, oh, I love The Davenports. And then if I see it out in the wild, hey, it's coming home with me. This says the perfect read for fans of escapist historical fiction. And this says it's a period of African American history overlooked while delivering total escapist swoon-worthy reading. So I really love this. I'm pretty sure we get the POV of the 3 different sisters in this, or maybe 2 sisters and a friend, or the brother, and like all of their love stories kind of like all mixed into one. So I'm really excited about that because we'll get to see all their like different personalities and how their stories kind of weave together. When I read the back of this, I remember thinking like, I was like, oh, that kind of sounds like some drama is gonna ensue, you know? This one is, let's see, kind of around the same, like 375. The way that this is formatted, it's like not that many words on each page, you know what I'm saying? So like definitely could binge this. And I've been meaning to get to this for a minute. So Book number 6. This is a book that has been on my TBR for way too long. I'll say that. This is Skin of the Sea by Natasha Bowen. This is a fantastic, is it fantasy or more like magical realism? I would say like fantasy. I would say fantasy for sure. From what I remember, I'm pretty sure this is a girl. She is a mermaid, and basically what she does is when like dead bodies are dumped into the ocean, she takes them and basically like gives them to their goddess in some way. I can't remember. It's been a long time since I picked this up and read, but I'm pretty sure she makes some kind of mistake, and then it kind of sends her on this like a whole entire journey that she has to go on. I've just had this on my TBR for so long. I've been meaning to get to it. The last one is The Devil She Knows by Alexandria Bellefleur, and is a sapphic romance, and I'm pretty sure this one has to do with a girl who she proposes to her girlfriend and it does not go the way that she hoped, and then she reaches out to this devil to try to like make a deal with her to try to get her girlfriend to marry her, and ends up falling in love with the devil instead, or the demon. Sorry, I don't know. Devil, demon, I don't know. But yeah, I also had this on my TBR for a minute. I meant to read this when Valentine's Day came around, and then I never did. Those are the 7 books that we're gonna hopefully get through this week. I was thinking about starting with Honey and Spice. I think I want to start with the Davenports. That's the one that like right now while I'm sitting here, I'm thinking the Davenports is the one that is like I'm gravitating the most towards. But we will see. I'm going to like film my intro video for my reels slash shorts, and then we'll decide after that. But I will definitely update you throughout today. I don't even know, girl. My day, this is just such an odd day for me. Yeah, we will pick up a book and I will update you in just a bit. Well, I have expensive taste, so you can charge it to my family's account. The name is Davenport. I love Olivia so far. I got up to chapter 8, page 56. I'm going to take a tiny break because my boss messaged me to come and pick up my last check and my aesthetics license. I'm going to go over there, pick that up, and I'm going to listen to the audio while I drive and see how the audio is, and hopefully get like a few more chapters through. It's 12:30 right now, so my goal was to finish before my boyfriend gets off work, so that way I can like still film and everything. So I'm gonna listen to the audio, and then when I get back I'm gonna start like grinding. Okay, we're gonna try our best to finish this before he gets off. Wish me luck. Okay. It is currently 4 p.m. and I got up to chapter 27, which is page 224. Pretty good chunk through the beginning of this book. I just have like 150-ish pages left. I am loving this book. Absolutely loving this book. I think more people should be talking about this. This is a fantastic historical romance book that, oh my god, if you like historical romances, oh my gosh, like this is so good. I love that we get multiple POVs and multiple different love stories, and some of them that kind of like intercross between. It's very fascinating. And Olivia's story is also probably one of my favorites because she is learning so much about like the civil rights movement right now. Doesn't really know too much, but she accidentally stumbles upon like a civil rights movement meeting that's happening, and that's where she meets, he's actually a lawyer, and she meets him, and he is like definition of like tough love. He doesn't sugarcoat anything. He's very straightforward. He lets her know that she does come from money and a very protected lifestyle, and at first she was like kind of offended by it, but then as she learns more about it, she wants to like dive more into it and also be a part of the civil rights movement. And so she's learning more about it and really they're really like kind of forming their relationship based off of that, and I think it's a really, really great love story. And then Ruby and Mr. Barton, I love them so much, but I do fear that their story is not going to end well in this book. But there is a second book, so I feel like theirs will kind of continue on into that one. Helen's story, we'll see. We'll see with that one. I'm not too sure. And we also have Amy Rose and the brother, and that one I feel like none of these are actually going to conclude in this book. I feel like they're all going to kind of like move on into the second book as well, because all of these are just like, there's a lot of storylines in a small book. So I feel like they're probably all going to continue on to the second book, but I'm not mad about that because I'm just having a good time like spending the time with these characters. So I love this. This is giving me 5-star feelings for sure. And that's a good feeling to have when you're just reading a book and just enjoying it. Good morning. We're here for day 2. I did finish the Davenports yesterday, and I am so giddy about this book. I typically read fantasy or like fantasy romance. I don't typically pick up a book that is just romance that often. So when I do, they always hit so hard because I don't read like romance books back to back, if that makes sense. Pretty much every just romance book that was on my shelf I put in this TBR for this week because they are pretty short and easy to get through. So I'm so excited to get to those now this week because this one just started off on such a good note. I loved this so much. We get 4 different POVs. I think I mentioned that. We get both of the Davenport sisters, and then we also get their friend Ruby, and then we also get Amy Rose, she grew up with the Davenport sisters, but now she works for them as a maid. Amy Rose is the one that actually ends up being with the brother, the Davenport brother. So all interconnected, all kind of like following their stories. And I absolutely loved this. I loved seeing just their perspectives change on life in general. They all kind of started feeling like they wanted one thing, and then as they learned more throughout their love story, they realized that there was more out there for them, and they all wanted more for themselves by the end of it, which I thought was really wonderful. And then just the sibling dynamic and their relationship by the end of this just felt so special. It was just really, really sweet. The second one is called The Davenports More Than This, I think is what it's called. So the next time I go book shopping, I will definitely keep my eye out for that because I just love this. I thought it was so good. Moving on, so for day 2, for today, I definitely wanted to pick a fantasy. So I think I have 3 fantasies here. So let me pick those out really quickly. Out of these 3, I think I want to save Above for a little bit later in the week. I think for today, I'm just trying to decide between the Ballad of Jacquoette Delahaye or Skin of the Sea, so one is mermaids and the other one is pirates. So I'm trying to decide which one I think would be better for today. I was definitely leaning more towards I think I'm leaning more towards this one. I think we're just gonna go ahead and go with this one. It's currently like 8:45 a.m. So I'm going to make some coffee, make something to eat, and then get started on this. I'll just update you throughout the day. I just got up to part 3, which is like around page 230, and I'm starting to get a little bit sleepy. So I think I'm gonna take a tiny break. I'm gonna run to the grocery store, grab some stuff for dinner, and just like listen to the audio while I'm doing that. And then whenever I come back, I'll just finish up the ending. I'm enjoying it. I'm really liking the themes and like the found family aspect of this book, but the overarching plot isn't super gripping in my opinion. I don't know why I feel so sleepy. Anyways, I don't know I don't know what even what the heck? What did I even just say? Anyway, I am enjoying this, so we will definitely finish it whenever I get back, and I'll update probably whenever I finish this book. I finished up the ending of the Ballad of Jacquoette Delahaye, And I really liked this. I think I am just going to settle on a 3.5 for my rating, which is not bad. I feel like it's just kind of like I enjoyed my experience. There was nothing necessarily bad about it. I just don't think I'm going to think about it too often. But thematically, I really liked this. I really liked the main character and her drive. The found family, the sapphic romance, those were like my favorite parts of this. It ended really wholesome. I wasn't expecting that because based off of the prologue, I just was expecting this to kind of be an ending like I Medusa, I guess. I hope that's not like a spoiler or anything, but I just kind of expected the ending to just kind of end on like a somber note, but it didn't. It was pretty wholesome towards the end. So I liked that. That was very sweet. And yeah, I hope Jacquoette is just living her happy life, stress free, and the rest of her crew, I just hope they're happy and chilling. That's all I can hope for them. And I actually finished this pretty early today. It's only like 4:30 right now. So I definitely got up and got to it this morning, okay, which was my goal because yesterday I didn't get started until like 10:30, 11ish, and that definitely set me very far behind. So today I got started at like 8 a.m. I'm definitely gonna go back to romance for tomorrow. I think I'm either gonna do Honey and Spice or Queen Bee, and then I also have The Devil She Knows, which I'm really excited for that one. But I think I'm gonna save that for Sunday because Sunday is Mother's Day and I am gonna be driving down to my mom's and spending the day with her, which is like an hour drive and all of that. So I think I'm gonna save that one for Sunday because it's the shortest. Tomorrow, I think I'm gonna do Honey and Spice. So I might actually start on that this evening. And then yeah, we'll come back tomorrow for day 3, which is so exciting. This is going so much better than I expected. I just did not expect for me to actually be able to complete books this fast, but audio is really helping. I won't lie. I am depending on it a little bit just because I know I will get distracted. Like if I stop reading, I'll sit there and like scroll on my phone or whatever. But if I have the audio, I can just let the audio go while I'm like today I did 2 loads of laundry, went grocery shopping, and I was able to like listen to the audio while I was doing those things, which really helps me stay on track. So yeah, I'll see you tomorrow for day 3. 2 pop in and give an update for day 3. So I did pick up Honey and Spice by Bolu Babalola, and I can't remember if I mentioned or not, but I did pick this up last night since I finished day 2 so early and I was able to kind of like get a head start on this. But I started this last night. I also got the audiobook of this, so I've been immersive reading it, and the audiobook is fantastic. If you are considering reading this book, I would highly recommend listening to the audio or immersive reading it with the audio because the narrator does a fantastic job of getting everybody's like sarcastic like in their tones and like their personalities across really well. And yeah, I'm just really having a great time with this. I'm currently on page 260, so I will definitely be finishing this today. It's like 3:15 right now in the evening or afternoon, I guess. But yeah, I'm definitely going to continue reading this for this evening. I think I have like an hour left of the audiobook and like less than 100 pages, but I'm really liking this. They have a fake dating situation that's going on in this, and they both have media projects as well. There goes the books. I knew as soon as I leaned back here that the books were gonna. Kiki has her own radio show, and Malachi has a film project that he's working on, and it's just the way that they kind of like came together to both work on these projects together was just such a cute idea that they both had, and it's just such a cute way to like document their love story, and I'm really enjoying that part of it. Also, their banter is top tier. They are both so funny, both very quick and witty. So when they like not argue, because sometimes with like not necessarily like enemies to lovers, but like books where they try to like act like they don't like each other, those books can get really annoying to me because their bickering back and forth gets so annoying and so old so fast. Like the main example that I always think of is like Quicksilver, but with this, they're never like bickering in a way that's like annoying. It's always like silly. Like they're never like actually meaning any like malintent with it. They're always just being like very silly and goofy with it, and that's like my favorite part about their banter is it's always like very quick, very silly, and they're able to like really be comfortable around each other and learn a lot about each other during their conversations. Like they feel very safe around each other, and I always love that in a love story when two people are able to like feel safety within each other, because everything else in their world just feels very like unsure and unsafe. So I'm really liking that. This is a really good book. I'm really enjoying it. I will definitely continue immersive reading it because I'm loving the audio. I'll update you either tonight or in the morning. It is now day 4. I finished Honey and Spice last night. I didn't have time to like actually film my feelings and give you my rating and everything, but I loved this. I ate this up. Their banter was just 10 out of 10, and the audiobook narrator just absolutely killed this book. That made the experience reading this book so fantastic, and I'm glad that I now have the audiobook on Everend, so if I ever want to reread this or re-listen to it, I have the option to do that. But this was so good, you guys. Oh my gosh. When I was doing my wrap up or my review for like my short form video, I was saying that Kiki's character was so fleshed out, and like her personality, it just felt like she was like an actual real like 3D person, like an actual person that you could like meet and talk to and run into in real life. Relationship felt so real as well, but it was just so cute because we got like the radio show aspect, or like the radio show snippets, as well as getting like the interview snippets from Malachi's film project, and the way we got to like see his little film like at the ending of this. Oh my gosh, it was just such a like full circle moment, and I absolutely loved it. I thought this was so cute. I cannot wait to read Sweet Heat because I feel like finishing this knowing that there's a second book with like the second chance trope in it like almost makes so much sense, because I feel like these two characters, as much as you know that they are 100% meant for each other, it almost kind of feels like they are still at the ending of this like finding their grounding and still like learning about themselves as a person. So it almost makes sense that there is a second chance romance. And I feel like she just set this up absolutely perfect because, again, like I said, like you know that they are absolutely meant for each other, but they are just like still going through so much in life in general and like building the relationship when this ends, that it makes sense that they're, was something that maybe like went awry, and then they have to like find each other again later on. So I'm so excited to read Sweet Heat. Shaughnessy said that Sweet Heat you could even like read on its own, and that it's such a good book on its own that if you were gonna read Honey and Spice, like obviously read this one first, but Sweet Heat is so good that you could read it on its own. But I knew I wanted to go ahead and read Honey and Spice first, and I'm so glad I did, because all those little moments with like their banter and like those little jokes that they had with each other just were so special, and I'm so glad that I read this. This was such a good romance book. I will say my only like issues that I was having with it, and like the only reason I was considering rating this 4.5, was because like Zach's character, I feel like we talked about him too much. He just was there too much, and I know that he was a big part of like the third act conflict, and like a lot of the like side issues that were going on revolved around like his character and like some fuck ass shit that he was doing. But like I feel like he was brought up too much. Like, get away, go away. We're talking about Kiki and Malachi right now. Scotch and Kai, okay? Like, Zach, go away. Why are you here? Also, I loved the side characters. Oh my gosh, why can't I think of their names? This is what happens when you read a book. Oh, Kofi and Amina? Was that this best friend's name? I think her name's Amina. Kofi and Amina. I'm not gonna go look for it, but like, yeah, Kofi and Amina, I thought their relationship was really cute too. I just want to keep talking about it. That's why I rated it 5 stars, because like, yeah, I did have like little issues with it that like did make me consider rating this like 4.5, but like we don't have to be I just had a great time with this, and I thought this was so well crafted and so well fleshed out that it's like 5 stars, babe. 5 stars. Oh, also the British accents. Love. Like the British slash like Nigerian accents that were in this were just like so good. It's so good. I love this so much. If you haven't read Honey and Spice, what are you doing? What are you doing? Read this and then pick up Sweet Heat because I know it's going to be good also. This video is making me realize that the next time I go book shopping, I have some books to pick up. I need to get Sweet Heat, and I also need to get the second Davenports book because I was obsessed with this as well. This was so good. Anyways, it is day 4, so let's talk about day 4's book, which is The Devil She Knows. This one, not loving as much, I'll be honest. Let's see how far I got in. I'm on chapter 6, I believe. Yeah, I'm somewhere in the middle of like chapter 6, so I'm like almost 100 pages into this right now, and I'm not liking this as much as I hoped. And I was really, really excited for this because I love a sapphic romance, and this one is just not doing it for me. And it's not necessarily the romance itself because we haven't really got any of that yet, but it's like everything else that is going on. So essentially, our main character in this, her name is Sam, and at the beginning, like on the first page, she is proposing to her girlfriend Hannah, and Hannah just straight up denies her and is like, "Absolutely not. I don't even want to be with you anymore. So like, no." And so as she's on her way home, she's in the elevator and she runs into Daphne, which is the blonde character on the front cover of this book. And Daphne tells her like, "I can give you anything you want. I can grant you wishes, and if you want to get your ex back, if you want whatever, I can give all of that to you. You essentially just have to sell your soul to me because Daphne is a demon or like a devil, whatever." And Sam is like, "Yeah, I'll do it because I want to get Hannah back. That's all that matters to me right now. I just want Hannah back. That's the only thing that I want is to make Hannah happy." And so she starts like granting her these wishes, and that's kind of like what we're going on right now. She started small, which is like a silly wish, and now she did like a big wish, and we're kind of just like going through that. And I guess like as we go, she's just going to end up falling in love with Daphne instead. And I don't know. I'm just not enjoying it as much as I hoped I would. When I picked this up, I was really excited about it because Ellen Catherine, who, by the way, doesn't make YouTube videos anymore, I got a lot of sapphic recs from her because she was always reading a sapphic book, and I love sapphic books. So she had this, it was actually on her top 10 books of 2025, and I remember she got this as an arc, I believe, and she absolutely ate it up, absolutely loved it. Top 10 books of the whole year, and when she read like 200 books, so I was like, oh, this is going to be fantastic. And I think that might be why I went into this with like really high hopes, and it's just not hitting for me, maybe because I've read 2 5 stars in the last few days, that this just is like not. Why can I just like never think of it? There's phrases. It's always like those little phrases, and my brain can just like never think of them. It's not meeting, holding a candle to. Is that the saying? Oh my gosh. Essentially, this book, let's just say holding a candle. This book is not holding a candle to these 2 books. Like these 2 books absolutely ate them up. This could be better. I'm gonna continue reading this. I do have a pretty busy day today. I'm actually gonna go down and see my mom and my family and eat with them and drive down there, which is like an hour drive, and then spend a few hours there and then come back. So I do have a really busy day today. So I'll probably listen to this while I'm like cooking and read it while driving down there. And then I will give you my update either tonight or tomorrow morning. Welcome to day 5. It has been such a busy, weird, wild few days. I'm very tired today. As you can tell by the bookshelves in the back, we are not done yet. So this bookshelf is now empty and we are going to get rid of this, but we didn't have time to like carry it out or anything last night because we also built some other stuff like a record player holder and all this stuff. So we're just gonna wait until he gets off from work to carry that outside. So just ignore that bookshelf back there for right now and this like gap that's in between these books because that will be fixed Thursday. I think is when it's only Tuesday right now, but I think the next bookshelf comes in on Thursday. But anyways, day 5 reading. I think I had mentioned, but I was originally going to read Above by Brea Lamb, but I do think I'm really going to like this. And with all of the like magic systems and like world building, I don't want to rush through this in one day. I don't think I would enjoy it nearly as much if I tried to read through this in one day. And like, there's not an audio for this, but for example, if there was, I would have to have this on like 3 times speed every time I was reading to make sure I got done with it. And I just don't want to do that. We are going to hold off on this for a few days and then go back to this. I do want to try to read this month. However, there are some other books I'm really needing to get to as well. So, like, after this challenge, I was reading The Will of the Many. I got like 250 pages into that, and then I stopped to do this challenge because I randomly got fired and decided to seize the moment. But I do need to go back to The Will of the Many and finish that. That's besides the point. I do think I would love to get to this still in May. If not, of course, it's perfectly fine. It's not going anywhere. But I just am really excited about this book. I have followed this author on Threads for months and months and months, and she is so funny. And the way that she markets her book is like absolutely top tier. The memes that she uses and like the comparisons that she has for her book and things like that, it's just like, it's hilarious. I just love her. And the MMC is blonde, okay? And I am a blonde MMC supporter, okay? That was a lot of rambling and we didn't even get to like the book that we're reading. I did switch it out for Insatiable. Can't remember if I mentioned or not, but I think this is like the perfect book to binge in one day. Honestly, I don't know why this wasn't on the list to begin with. It was originally going to be, and then I think I switched it out for something, but this is like the perfect book to binge in one day. It looks kind of long, but there is a ton of pages that are just like art in here, as you can tell. It's not as long as it seems. And also there's a lot of text messages in here as well. See, like this first page of a chapter, it's literally art and text messages. That's literally it. So I don't know. I'm really, really, really excited to get into this. I am currently on chapter 7. I started reading a little bit of this last night and I'm liking this. I do typically struggle with dark romance because of like personal triggers that I have, which kind of sucks because like anything that is like has like a dark vibe to it, I typically really love. I just really like that kind of stuff. But when it comes to relationships specifically, with dark romance, there's a line. There's like a line that I just personally I can't do it. Even the slightest, like with dark romance, I always see people they're like, obviously that's a red flag in real life, but in a dark romance book. And I agree. I agree because it's fiction. However, for me, I can't really like look past certain things and it just like kind of makes me uncomfortable and then in my eyes it's really hard for me to be like supportive of the couple because in my own personal experience that's just like, oh, I can't do it. But there are dark romances out there that I have enjoyed, like Enigma for example. The actual relationship wasn't dark, it was like all of the extra stuff that was going on in the world around them was dark, um, which is what made it a dark romance, but their actual romance was not dark. They were respectful and nice to each other, and they had a really sweet romantic relationship. So I do have dark romance is that I think I would like. I just have to find the ones that I would like. This one so far is fine. There is a different relationship in here every time. There is another relationship in here that is making me very uncomfortable in that aspect, and it's not with the MMC, it is with a different male character. And every time that is shown on page, and again, we're only on chapter 7. Or actually, I think I'm on 8 because I read another chapter or two last night on Kindle. But we're only like this far in, maybe a little bit further, and that dynamic, like that relationship, has already been on page like 3 or 4 times. And I'm just like, ooh, I'm glad that she's about to go to America because I hope that we don't see that as much. Like, obviously, it'll be brought up and talked about because that's something that's obviously going to come up. But I hope since she's not going to be around him as much, that we won't have to read as much because those are the type of things that I'm just like, I can't do it. It just makes me so like PTSD is a real thing, you know? But Cade, who is the MMC in this, isn't like that to her. He's just like pissed off at her. Like you can tell Sorry, I'm just not realizing this is slanted. So I don't know when that happened. But he is just like clearly okay, so we get like a past timeline and a present timeline, and they were dating in the past timeline, and in the present timeline he is like he like hates her. Like he's still obsessed with her because he's a little crazy, but he hates her, and he's like kind of low key mean to her, but we don't really know why. And so I'm excited to kind of like find out why, but he's not in any way like abusive or controlling to her, which is good because he's just like pissed off. And I can handle that. I can handle a pissed off man. I cannot handle a controlling and abusive man. Okay? So I guess that's what I was trying to say. So far, the relationship in this is not bothering me. And the actual plot, I'm very intrigued by because I'm so excited to meet Tobias. Everyone talks about Tobias, and I just need to know the obsession. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and binge this. I am hungry. I'm gonna make some breakfast. I got some bagels, and I'm gonna make some coffee, and then we are going to sit down and binge this for a bit. And then I do want to go to the gym a little bit later. I think I'm like officially cleared to go to the gym technically. So I'm gonna go and do a light workout. It's been like over a month, I think, since I actually worked out because I had a procedure done, and like the 2 weeks before with like the medication I was taking, I couldn't work out. And then it was like 2 weeks after the procedure, I couldn't work out either. So it's been a minute since I worked out. So I'll probably do just like a light workout, like lower body workout, and then maybe walk for like 30 minutes or something. And maybe I'll just bring my iPad to read like while I walk and maybe listen to it while I'm doing like the other workout. That's a good idea. I'll do that a little bit later today. But right now, we're just going to eat some breakfast and read. And then I will definitely update whenever I have any updates. I feel like this vlog, I haven't got to actually vlog too much. So hopefully I got some clips throughout this video to make it a little bit more interesting rather than me just doing like check in, if that makes sense. We'll see whenever I go to edit it. I haven't edited anything from these videos. I have recorded every single like day for like short form. I haven't edited a single clip, not one. So that'll be interesting whenever I go to do that because I probably should start that today. Because if not, I'm never going to do it. I'm actually never going to do it, and that's just going to be a huge waste of time. So I'll probably today make it my goal to edit like the first two and get like the first one posted. But that is a lot of work. We'll see. We'll see. I don't know. I'm going to make some breakfast. Okay, good afternoon. It is day 6 of this challenge. We have one more day after this. And boy, I am really excited for it to be over. I cannot lie. I'm having a really great time. I won't lie. I'm not like feeling like I'm like forcing myself to read just to complete this challenge, which is really good. Like, yes, I have to like consciously dedicate a lot of time each day, but like what else am I supposed to do? It was only hard this weekend when my boyfriend was off because I did kind of have a day where we didn't get a lot done, but that was also because my car is like not acting right, which is literally the bane of my existence is my freaking car. Anyway, we are on day 6. I have already started this book. I do have to give you my update on Insatiable. Also, look at my shelves, you guys. Obviously, this one over here is like all my boyfriend stuff, and then these two are my books. But like, don't they look so nice? Just all three put together. Oh, I literally, it wasn't supposed to be here till tomorrow, but it got here early. So I just went ahead and built it and put it up, and I'm really, really happy with how they look. I just think it's so cute. And now for like when I film, it's just, anyway. What was it? Oh, Insatiable. I finished it. I did enjoy the actual plot lines that were going on in that book. So I'm very intrigued to continue on into books 2 and 3 because minor spoilers I have seen for the future books. So I am excited to see how all of that comes into fruition because Tobias is a very mysterious character, and I do know a very mild spoiler for the later books, so I'm really excited to kind of see that all happen. I'm very much looking forward to that. I did end up rating it 3 stars just because the amount of spice scenes that were in that book and the way that they were so drawn out every single time, they were well done. Like, they were good spice scenes, but it was just so many of them that I was like, because a lot of times I can like just kind of skip over spice scenes, but in this book I felt like there was a lot of context with their spice, which I know might sound dumb, but it's true. Like, they have a lot of history with them, so like when it would flash back into their like, I was literally talking, I had the screen door literally wide open, and right here on the other side of the patio this girl was like standing right there taking her dog out to go pee, and I'm just sitting here talking about spice in a book, and I'm literally looking at her, she's literally standing right there. Anyways, what was I saying? Oh, I felt like I couldn't really skim through their spice because of like there was like conversations and things that were going on that like added context to their story. So I anyways, I just felt like it was very redundant with the spice, and it was just a lot. But the plots I really liked. It was the plot lines were very dark, so like Stacy's story and like her personal life and situation that she was in, I feel really bad for her and like the situation that she's in, and what she's struggling with is so dark. The only page that I didn't annotate the book at all, but the only page that I like folded over in my book was it was the very end of chapter 30, and it brought tears to my eyes because that was when Stacy went to go visit Tobias, which is Cade's dad, and she kind of just like blurted out to him and like confided in him because she went there to get help from him to help Cade out. And the way that she just like got it out there, and the way that he immediately like went into like protective dad mode, like literally made my heart hurt for her. Like, I wanted her to I want her and Kay to like actually have the conversation that they need to have. And I understand why she hasn't been able to tell him yet. This is very vague. Like, if you've read the book, you know, but if you haven't, you probably have no idea what I'm talking about. But all this to say, like, I just hope in the future books, like, I'm just really excited to get to those parts where all of this kind of like gets out of there and we get to see more of Tobias, because everyone talks about Tobias and I'm very intrigued by him and his character. So I'm excited to get to those future books. I will not be like continuing on with it probably like super soon. Probably just whenever I get the urge to like continue it. And it is on Kindle Unlimited, so I probably will just continue it on there. I don't know. They do have the books at Books a Million, but I don't have one that's super close to me. That's where I got that one, but it's like 45 minutes for me, I think. Like 40 minutes maybe. I don't know. It's not that close to me. It's in Illinois and I live in St. Louis. So anyway, I rated it 3 stars. I did really like it. It just was super spicy, and I think in the later books, once I am more connected to the characters, I think those books I will definitely rate higher. Finishing up for that. So moving on to day 6, I did start reading Queen Bee by Amalie Howard, and this is a Regency romance. However, I did notice at the beginning of this book, it says an anti-historical Regency romp. So I just think that's just a really cute touch that it's like an anti-historical, because she puts her own spin on the Regency era, which I really love, and I'm really, really enjoying this book so far. It's not like 5 stars at all, I don't think. No, it's definitely not 5 stars, but I am really enjoying it. I think it's a really cute book. We get a past POV and then a present POV, similar to Insatiable, except not as dark. Past POV, you get to see her name in the past POV is Ela, I believe is how you say her name. She was a part of society. Her dad was an earl, I believe. Something happens to her where there's this girl, her character, her name is Poppy, and she is evil, okay? She is so mean. So Poppy basically is going after the Duke, and the Duke doesn't really want anything to do with her, but Ela and the Duke just naturally end up becoming friends. Like, they just click and become friends, and they hang out a lot. And even with the Duke's sister, like, they all just get along really well and like to hang out with each other. And Poppy finds out about this and basically just like ruins her reputation. Like, tells her dad and like the other people of society that she has been like sneaking in the woods with boys and doing whatever. So she gets like basically shunned from society, and she has to go live in this house where she lives with like all of these other people who have had like unfortunate things happen in their life. So she's living like away from society, and that's like the past POV that we get. And then the present POV is her. She's under an alias and she goes by Lyra. And this is her going back into society under this alias to try to get revenge against both Poppy and the Duke because she feels like they both wronged her and didn't stand up for her. The big thing that's bothering me with this is like, yes, it's been like 3 years and she did this stuff with her hair where she basically dyes it black instead of like this light brown color that it was. So like in the picture you can see her hair is black in this, and it's much longer. Her hair used to be short. So the Duke and Poppy don't recognize her, which I get it's a fiction book, but this whole time I'm like, how do they not recognize her? It's only been 3 years. It's been 3. They were 15, I think. So it's like, if there was somebody that you were close friends with or like a close acquaintance with, saw like almost every single day pretty much, and there was this huge scandal revolving them and they were banished from society, and then 3 years later they pop up and they're under a different name, like I feel like you probably recognized him. I mean, maybe not, but like, how do they not recognize her? I don't know. Anyway, like there was a scene that just happened not too far from where I just read, and the Duke was like, you just really remind me of somebody. Okay, Sophie and Benedict, like, yeah, she didn't even have a mat. You knew her. You hung out with her every single day. You were close friends. You were literally close friends, and with your sister. You guys were all close, and you don't recognize her. That is crazy. But anyway, aside from that, I get it's a fiction book, so I'm just going to look past that. I'm on 235, so chapter 19. So this little bit over here, this is all I have left. It's like right at 100 pages what I have left. Almost 4 o'clock. My boyfriend will probably be off soon-ish, so I'm going to try and just put on the audiobook and listen to the end of this and try to knock this out really quick before he gets home, because when he gets home, I'm going to cook dinner and we're going to watch The Boys, because The Boys episode comes out on Wednesdays, and it's not the last, it's the second to last episode that comes out today, so he's going to want to watch that like as soon as he gets home. So I'm going to try to knock this out really quick so that way I can be ready to cook dinner and everything when he gets off. I was going to go to the gym today, but time slipped away from me. Okay, maybe I can tonight, but we'll see about that. Good morning and welcome to day 7 of reading 7 books in 7 days. I cannot believe we are finally done with this challenge. I am like proud of myself and I've had a really great time, but I won't lie, I'm very excited to not have to feel like I have to dedicate so much time every day to reading. I'm like, again, I've had so much fun and I'm not complaining at all. But it will feel good to just go back to reading like when it feels right to read, and not feeling like I have to like consciously, I can't say that word right, consciously, wow, that, why can't I say that word, consciously, anyway, read, like dedicate hours every day to reading. But anyway, we are reading Skin of the Sea today. I'm really excited to get to this one because I think I mentioned, but I've had this on my TBR for so long now. Like when I very first started getting into reading and going to Half Price Books and all of that, I found this at Half Price Books and I was so drawn to this, and then I never ended up reading it or getting to it. But out of all the unhauls that I've done, I never wanted to get rid of this because I was like, I know I really want to get to that at some point. And today is the day. We're going to read this entire book. I know that this has to do obviously with like mermaids and some African mythologies in there as well, which I always love reading books with any type of mythology because I feel like I always end up learning so much about them. So I'm really excited to dive into this one. I think I'm going to read the first few chapters with the audio and then just put on the audio because I have a few things I need to do. I need to do dishes, I need to wash towels, I need to do like a few more other loads of laundry, and I also have a Lego set that I really want to do. So I'm just going to throw on the audio while I do all of that, and then hopefully get this finished. With, it's not a very long book, it's only about 300 pages, and The audiobook is like only like 10 hours, so at like 2.5 speed that should only be like less than 5 hours. So we're just gonna binge this for today. I think I'm just gonna like read it straight through and like not take any breaks because I'm so excited to be done with this challenge. I won't lie to you. I will not lie to you. So yeah, we're gonna put this on, binge it, and then I will be back to update you at the end. And I think also when I come back, I want to do a full, not necessarily like wrap up, but just kind of like go through all of the books that we read this week. And I think I want to rank them as well. So we'll just, I'm excited to see where this lands because I'm not too sure. But yeah, I think we're going to do like a little ranking at the end of all of the books that we read this week. And yeah. Do you love my bookshelves in the back? I like keep staring at them and looking at them because I think they look so good. I'm gonna make some breakfast, make some coffee, and then I will be back in a few hours to update. Yay, we made it, you guys. We made it. Okay, it probably looks like I haven't moved at all. I promise I have. We are back to do my full wrap up of this challenge. And first, really quickly, I just put these in my like ranking order, but I'm about to move it so that way I can talk about Skin of the Sea really quickly. Okay, so I did finish Skin of the Sea, and I do feel like, unfortunately, just the mood that I'm in today kind of reflected in my rating for this book because I did really enjoy this. I love like the little journey that they went on. So essentially in this we're following our main character Simi, and she basically what she does is she works for, not works for, she is, how do I explain this? Yamoja. So I think I'm saying that correctly. That is the name of the Orisha that Simi, basically, I'm going to say the word works, but that's obviously not the right word. There is a group of 7 people, and basically what they do is they collect the bodies that have been thrown into the sea, like people who are like dead bodies that were thrown into the sea, and they collect them and send their souls off to their god that they believe in. So basically like her only job that she is supposed to be doing is take, like when she sees a body that is thrown into the ocean, she's supposed to take them, you know, bless their soul and send them off. Like that's all she's supposed to do. But she has a hard time with this because she keeps getting like flashbacks from her life before she was thrown into this role. And also one day there's this boy that is thrown into the sea and he is not fully dead yet. So in her mind she thinks, why would I wait for him to die, like drown and die, and then send his soul off when I could save him instead? So she does that. She saves this boy, and then that basically puts them into like this whole chain of events that just throws everything out of the balance and messes everything up because she was not supposed to do that. So she basically gets in trouble and has to go and correct things. And that's like kind of like the journey that her and Kola, that is the boy's name that she saves. And yeah, I liked this. I really enjoyed learning a lot about the mythology, and I love any books with mythology. I love reading the author's note. Like for example, I Medusa. The author's note in that was just very enlightening, and the author's note in this one as well. Just you just learn so much about the mythology and like the reason why they felt that they wanted to write the story and tell this story. And so I really enjoyed that. I really liked learning about the mythology, and all of the lore that went on in this story was just like really, really fun to read about. This is a duology, and I think for right now, what I'm feeling is just rating this at 3 stars, even though I feel like that is really low, and it's not. It's not a low rating. It just, for some reason, I feel like I expected this to be a little bit higher, and it's not necessarily that I didn't enjoy it. I liked it a lot. I just think that the mood I'm in and the fact that I read it so quickly, and it was just kind of like hard to connect to the characters in this because I felt like we were just like reading their story, not like, I don't know how to explain this. I just think I'm just in a weird mood today. I'm gonna rate this 3 stars for now. I could change my mind later on and like want to continue on and complete the duology, but for right now, I don't really think I'm going to. And I'm sorry. I feel bad about that. But that's just how I'm feeling. So, great way to end off. We had 2 5 stars this week, though. So, we still had a really great week. We just had a few that just like weren't my favorites. Go through and do our little wrap up. So, I'm just going to go from not the order that I read them in because obviously you saw that throughout the video. I'm going to go through and rank them from my least favorite to my favorite. So starting at number 7, which is my least favorite, is going to be The Devil She Knows by Alexandria Bellefleur. I just was really expecting to love this because I think I had mentioned, but Ellen Catherine, she was raving about this book. She had it in her top 10 books of 2025 and was just saying how like cute and witty it was, and I was just really excited to read this. I love sapphic romances, and this just kind of like was not what I was expecting. Like the whole vibe of it was just like a little bit more silly than I was I was expecting it to be a little bit more like mature and like a little bit more dark, but it was more on like the silly side, and I guess I just wasn't expecting that going into it. But it was fun. I think I rated it like 2.5 stars. It just wasn't my favorite and it wasn't very memorable to me, and I'm really sad about that because this cover is iconic. This cover is so sick. I love it. But yeah, this is my least favorite of the week, so this is going at number 7. And then number 6, this middle section is a little bit could change, you know. Number 6, I'm gonna put The Ballad of Jacquoette Delahaye. I think I initially rated this like 3.5 maybe. I just haven't thought about this one time since I finished it. I did love the sapphic romance that was in this, and I did love the like found family aspect and like her tight-knit crew that she had, like how supportive they were of her, and like the wholesome ending that we had in this. Loved all of that, but I would say like the overall journey of this book was just not very like I wasn't very like locked in while we were reading it. It just felt like a lot of action and a lot of like I don't know, it just felt like everywhere we went everyone was like degrading her and shitting on her and yada 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 whatever. I was just like not very locked into this and not very like I was kind of just reading it just reading it because I think if I wouldn't have read this in this challenge, like trying to read it all in one day, I probably would have ended up like soft DNFing this and then like probably like never going back to it. So like DNFing it because I just wasn't like locked in when I was reading it. You know that feeling where you just like are like, oh, I'm not really in the mood, and then you put the book down and then before you know it's been like 3 weeks and you haven't picked it up again. That's probably what would have happened with this. But again, loved the romance. I loved the found family and the wholesome ending. All of that was really, really great. So this is number 6. Number 5, I am going to put The Skin of the Sea because this is the only other one in this list that I just kind of felt like mid feelings about. Again, I love the mythology aspect and like the journey that they went on. However, the romance I didn't really feel connected to. The overall story, like the gods and everything, I just kind of was just like reading it to read it, if that makes sense. And again, it's probably just because the mood I'm in and like the fact that I've read 7 books in 7 days, like I'm just like not in the mood to read today. So that is probably it probably fell victim to that. But it was good, and maybe one day I'll get the urge to want to complete the duology and finish the story because I do always see the second one at half price books. So maybe one day I'll pick it up and just finish it. But we shall see. These last 4, these are the ones that I really did enjoy for the week. I loved all of these books, to be honest. Number 4, I am putting Insatiable. And this is kind of surprising me because I did not expect to like this as much as I did. I think I mentioned, but I have a hard time with dark romances most of the time. And this was quite spicy. Romance books that are like extremely spicy, not even just dark romance, but like romance in general, like if there is like spicing after spicing after spicing, I'm just kind of like, okay. Like for example, like Heated Rivalry, loved the story and the yearning and like their connection was so good, but there were so many spice scenes in that I think I rated it like 3 stars because I'm like, you guys, like I just don't need all that. I just don't need all that. So this, I did rate it 3 stars. However, I have thought about this book constantly since finishing it. I really have. Like, was it yesterday that I read this? No, it was 2 days ago. Yeah, 2 days ago. And I thought about this multiple times yesterday. I've thought about it today. I'm just like, oh my god, Kate and Stacy, like, are they okay? Is Tobias, like, is everybody okay? I don't know. Like, so I ended up liking this more than I anticipated, but I liked it. I thought it was a fun time. Number 3, I am putting Queen Bee. I think I rated this 4 stars. This is just so cute. This was just like a very easy, quick, cutesy, precious romance. It wasn't anything that was like life-changing or I felt like super strongly about, but I just enjoyed it. I just had a fun, cutie time with this. And I just liked Kez a lot. I really liked Ela as well. Like, they were both just really solid main characters. Like, neither of them were annoying or, there was a side character that was extremely annoying, Poppy, looking at you. But I just thought this was so fun, and I am a sucker, like, for anything that is Regency or historical. Like, I'm gonna eat it up every time. I am a Bridgerton girly to my core. The Buccaneers, like, I just eat it up. I don't know what it is, but the men are typically so, like, respectful and like acts of service and kind, like sweet boys. And those are my favorite type of romances to read. So I just ate it up. I'm sorry, I ate it up. It was so cute. Again, it wasn't like super life-changing. I haven't thought about it too much, but I had a good time while reading it. So 4 stars. Okay. And then these two, I really am going back and forth. I can't decide which one should be in the number 1 spot because I think if, okay, let me just show you. Obviously, this is Honey and Spice and then the Davenports. These were my 2 5 stars of the week, and I'm obsessed with both of these books. And like, if I was going to be like, pick favorites, I would probably pick the Davenports, just again because like what I was saying, like the historical setting, like Regency, even though this technically isn't Regency, this is in like the early 1900s, but again, like anything historical, I just eat it up. I love it so much. It's just so sweet and precious. But Honey and Spice was just such a good depiction of like a modern day romance. And I thought about this, like, again, I at first I was like, is this a 5 star? And then I was like, no, yeah, it's a 5 star. Like, I'm not gonna be like picky and like whatever. Like, I'm just gonna rate it 5 stars because I absolutely love this story. And again, this Honey and Spice I have thought about every single day since finishing it. Like, it was just so good. I love both of these books. Like, if I absolutely had to choose, I'd probably put the Davenports at 2 and then Honey and Spice at 1, which I was not expecting because on day 1 when I finished Davenports, I was like, oh, well, that was my favorite book of the whole week. Nothing's gonna top that because I just loved it so much. But Honey and Spice is that girl, okay? She it's so good. I just love both of these books. And the best part about this, both of these have a sequel. Both of these have a sequel. So I get to go and buy the second book in both of these worlds, and I'm just so ecstatic about that. I cannot wait. You guys, like, I'm just getting so giddy thinking about it because I'm so excited to pick these books back up, and I will not be rushing through the sequels when I read them. I will be taking my time reading them and just like letting myself sit in these worlds because I'm almost kind of sad that I rushed through these and read them so fast because I just loved them so much. So number 1 and number 2, you can, I don't care, they can go in either spot. We did it. We did it, you guys. I can't believe I actually completed that. Like, I have never read books like this before this week, but yay, we did it. These are the 7 books that we read this week. I don't know how many times I'm going to keep repeating that and saying that, but hopefully this video isn't like 900 years long. If you watched this, wow, thank you. That's the other thing. When I was like in the middle of making this video, like day 3, day 4, I was like, why am I doing all this? Because I have like no followers on anything. I have 0. I have like nothing. So I'm kind of just doing this like literally for fun. And I'm not mad about it. I'm really not. But hey, if for some reason you did watch this, love you so much. Like, I would kiss you on your forehead right now because thank you. I think next week's video, I'm just going to post something like super chill because I need to like not read and like stare at a TV or something for like 24 hours straight. Go on a walk, like touch the grass. I don't know, but please like, follow, subscribe, please subscribe. I would definitely appreciate it. And I will see you in my next one. Bye.